But right now we're going to be talking about the March of Dimes. The March of Dimes, and you remember as kids, I mean, I can remember the little stamps you put on the back of your Christmas cards, March of Dimes, March of Dimes. And originally it was the dimes, but now we've moved on, and we need more money. We need more money. But what you're doing now is, it used to be like for like infantile paralysis and things like that, and we've kind of gotten that taken care of, so to speak. But now we're looking at premature births.
Yes, we are.
Tell us a little bit, Karen, about this.
Yes.
And let me introduce, Karen is with us, and also Melinda.
Yes.
Yes, and Crowley, and she got a baby, so we'll talk about that.
Great.
Good.
Thanks for having us on.
Sure.
March of Dimes was established back in 1938, as you said, for polio. It was established by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and he had
suffered
polio.
from that. Yeah.
Correct. And so they had a group of volunteers that fought for polio. And fortunately, we were able to eradicate it.
We had the Sabin vaccine.
Yes, we did. Yeah. So then we got to choose another area to concentrate on. It was back then, it was birth defects and premature birth. And that was back in 1979. And we've come a long way with it. But it's always a struggle. And this November is Prematurity Awareness Month. So what we like to do is, our report card was released today. And in New York State, is one of the 16 states that had a decline in premature birth. So, you know, we're on the decline, which is great. This is our 5th consecutive year being on the decline, and we received a B. So this is hot off the presses as of this morning.
Now, when we talk about premature births, is there a way other than prenatal care? I mean, what are you doing to kind of make that number go down? And maybe Melinda can even join in on this.
She can probably attest to this, but what we do is our dollars go towards research, education, and advocacy. So the more we can educate people to have a full-term pregnancy, the better they are. And the full-term pregnancy is 39 to 40 weeks. Right. So that's what we strive for. But Melinda has a first-hand situation that I would love for her to share with us today.
Yeah, and you had a baby in a NICU unit. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, my son Joshua was born, he was due in July, and he was born in April. So he was born 3 months premature. He weighed 1 pound, 15 ounces. 3 months.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you know, we are so blessed that in this day and age, you didn't lose that baby.
Yeah, my husband is actually an emergency room physician, and he said, you know, talking to colleagues, when our son was born 10, 15 years ago, the doctors would have said, you know, sorry, there's nothing.
The lungs aren't developed enough, and we can't do anything. So where was the baby born, and what was your experience with the NICU unit?
We were out in Syracuse for my husband's residency, so he was born at Crowley NICU, and he was there for 95 days. And the nurses and doctors were fabulous, but one of the reasons I got involved with the March of Dimes Northeast New York Division is they actually fund a NICU support specialist for the Albany Med NICU here, which is someone who's just there for the parents going through this. Because when we were going through it, the doctors and the nurses were wonderful, you know, but their main concern was my son.
The baby.
Which is what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, of course.
But, you know, in the meantime, my husband and I were dealing with this emotional roller coaster of, is my son going to live? You know, what kind of disabilities is he going to have? And we didn't have anyone.
And we saw the
guide
baby,
us.
and we got pictures. Let's see if I don't know whether they've run the pictures yet. What are we looking at here?
That's Joshua, maybe a week after he was born. He was less than a week old. Yeah, that's my husband's hand. So, and he's on a ventilator. He's intubated. Yeah, my mom called him Benjamin Button because he looks like a little old man. So, and that's Joshua at 6 months old. So you can see there he is. He's a year and a half. He's almost 25 pounds, and just amazing.
He's doing great, and I saw him running around here. Well, there he is standing up, but he was running around a little bit before the show, and just a healthy little baby,
yes.
And so wonderful. And it must have been pretty. I don't know what you felt when you found out that you were going to deliver. Was it because you had to deliver, or was it just spontaneous that your delivery took place? I mean, was there a medical reason?
We found out after the fact, because I had never had an ultrasound before I was pregnant with Josh. You know, most women don't have ultrasounds until they become pregnant. And so after I had him, they did an ultrasound and found out that they thought I had a heart-shaped uterus, but actually what it ended up being is a septum, so there was a wall in the middle of my uterus.
Oh my gosh.
So
the baby couldn't expand.
Right, he ran out of room.
Right.
So.
So how do you feel about working with this whole area of premature births?
I actually had 2 healthy boys that didn't want to come out. My boys
They
were
did not
two,
want. They
yes,
were. They
my boys
liked
were
it
both-
where it was. It was cozy.
They were both 2 weeks late, so it's the other end of the spectrum
Yeah.
for me. So it's so nice to be able to get back to an organization and really see the decline coming down. So the more education we can have for the families, we're affiliated with all the hospitals. As Melinda was saying, our program is at Albany Med because it's the level 4, it's the regional center. So all the
They're
really
really
sick
great
babies.
over there. They really are wonderful.
Yep, so we've invested.
Is it age related? Premature births?
No.
Okay.
No. And what we find is that the African American community are affected more than the
really?
Caucasian community. Yes.
Okay.
So the more educational messages we can get out there, the better off we are.
And of course, good nutrition and health
Perfect.
are a lot
Vitamins.
to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How can people help the March of Dimes? I mean, I don't think they sell the stamps for Christmas anymore, but tell me how they can help.
They can go onto our website, www.marchofdimes.com/New York, and they can donate. We are always looking for volunteers to help out, like Melinda. We do walks throughout the area. We encompass a 17-county radius. So
You
we
do
go
17 counties?
Yes,
oh
we
my
do.
Goodness.
Yep. So we go as far up as Plattsburgh, Malone area, right, basically to the
Sure.
Canadian border, over to Oneonta and down to Dutchess, and then the next division of March of Dimes picks up.
Now, you mentioned premature births, and you have on the 17th is what?
National, Prematurity Awareness Day. And what we did is, as of last year, we made it as a global awareness day. So going forward this year and future years, November 17th is World Prematurity Day.
Are you still working with birth defects,
Yes, we are.
like spina bifida
Yes,
and
we are.
things like that? Okay,
Yes, we are.
good. And how do you? It's mainly research,
Research,
education,
yep.
advocacy.
Yep.
Do you have support groups?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We work with the different hospitals in the area. There is one support group it's called EASE, and what that is for families that have lost a baby. They can join in the support group.
Okay, because that's important too.
It certainly is.
I mean, having a miscarriage has got to be a devastating.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it's to go through.
No, I
with
can't
something
either.
like that.
Yep.
Because you have all your hopes, and then all of a sudden they're shattered.
Yep.
You know,
We
it's-
also have a program called Share Your Story.
Okay.
And you would go on the March of Dimes website under Share Your Story, and people chat on, this is my
Sure.
situation, and, this is what I've been through. And that seems to be helpful for parents also.
And Melinda, did you get a lot of support other than, like you mentioned, that the Syracuse Hospital didn't really have anything for them, but when you left there, did you, afterwards, after the baby was out, were you getting any support?
We could always call the NICU after, if we had questions. The pediatrician that we had, we moved back to this area, so the pediatrician that we have has been wonderful. And then connecting with the March of Dimes and talking to other mission families, who have gone through and who are just so happy for us that Joshua is healthy,
Right.
Because they've gone through the same experience.
But you're a model for them. I mean, in a way. I mean, they know that this,
Come on, yes.
yeah,
We cherish
you
them.
can get through. You can get
Yes.
through it, and
Yes.
you can be there for some support. Melinda, it's a pleasure to meet you, and
Thank
it was
you
so
very much.
nice to see Joshua running around. I think he's making us out there. And Karen Wendling, she is actually she's the director of the
Northeastern New York chapter of the March
chapter.
of Dimes.
And you can go to their website at marchofdimes.com and then /New York and find out how you can help, because there's always a place to help. And I know that maybe in the fall or winter when we start thinking about volunteering and Thanksgiving, maybe this is the time for you to kind of put your money where your mouth is. Do it.
We
right?
appreciate
Do
that.
it. Right.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being